Hoo-wee. All right, let me push this down just a little bit. Hey, y'all. Pillow not straight. Oh, this pillow is not straight. Okay, I have made it. I have made it. Ooh-wee. I left my tea. I'll be right back. I hope y'all can see me because I'm using a different device today because I had to. Okay. Okay. I can see me there. So y'all can see me. Mm. I know, 8:46. I know. But here we are. Here we are. And I'm happy to be here. And I'm not going to be here long. I'm not going to be here long. I just need to get a few people on here. Just need to get a few people on here because this is kind of a specific kind of uh, thing on today. I was going to take off the whole week, y'all, because I have to make some adjustments for some things. I need to be at home a little bit more. My hometown is in Pine Bluff. I need to be home. Hey, what's in my cup? Um, so I'm in Little Rock right now. But what's in my cup, Michelle, is some oh, tag Courtney too. Oh, you did. The orange pico tea, uh the mint black tea, and cranberry juice and lemon juice and honey. And Michelle, you will be happy to know that I completed my video project and got it turned in today. I did not realize that today was the 8th and today was the deadline. And I thought that yesterday was 8th and thought that I was late. And then I go and look at the calendar and I said, look at God. It right here, right on time. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And so I just have this specific teaching today because I did, Michelle, because I didn't think we were having class on Monday night and we did. And so Coach Ashley was giving us all of our she was giving us all of our updates and statuses and where we are and what we need to do and all of that. And so um she told me I had like 3 more videos that I needed to send. And she said once I sent those, then that requirement for graduation will be completed. So that's that. And then by the end of this week, I will have my y'all, I'm writing a journal. I'm writing a journal. Um and it's called Unlocking Me. And you've got 6 six, it's a guided journal. You've got six unlockings to get to a place of confidence. And it's how forgiveness plays a part in that. And so when I get ready to put it out, y'all, I want y'all to get it because it walks you through some of the things that I had to walk through and just the process of how you become confident, um, and how forgiveness plays a part in growing your confidence. So yes, so and that's gonna be part of my coaching platform. I'm about to graduate from Evolve Masters, and then I'll be coaching and doing all the things. I'm so excited. So anyway, last week was that last week that I ended up staying with my yes, it was. Last week I ended up staying at my parents' house quite a while. And I had started talking about what freedom looks like. Because once you do a lot of forgiving and you learn how to let go and release pain and hurt and guilt and pride and fear and all of these things that keep us from forgiving, then your outlook changes, the way that you function changes, the way that you think about things changes, the way that you proceed forward changes in life. And thank you, Michelle. And life starts to look a little different, right? And so it's at that point that you start recognizing, hey, I can do this, I can do that. Hey, your one of the things is your creativity starts to flow better. Um, you say yes to God more when He puts you in the space of, hey, I need for you to do this. Hey, I need for you to start going live every single day at 8:30. And I said, talking to the people about forgiveness, he said, yes. I said, well, now, isn't that interesting? So, you say yes to that, and then you watch him, grow you and all the things and show you, how you don't have to necessarily stay up just all night preparing for things because the way that God gives you things to do is already complete how He gives you to you. You just have to ask all the right questions. So anyway, so we talked about that. We talked about all of how your relationships will shift. We talked about all of these different things. You should go back and watch it. And you know what? I'll start uploading all these videos to my YouTube channel that I need y'all to, I would like for y'all to subscribe to because I'm now broadcasting live to YouTube. So I'll upload those past videos to YouTube. So when I refer to them, you can go back and watch. And so y'all are walking with me through this process as I teach it to you. So know that I am really talking from a place of real live experience going on right now. And so one of the things that we also talked about is you will get moved out of a place of comfortable bondage. By comfortable bondage, it's like you're here, you're in this space, you've been in this space, you've done this thing, you've had this job, you've been in this friendship, you know, you've been in this wherever you are, and it may feel like, it's once you start forgiving, you may feel like it's kind of hindering you, but it's also comfortable. It's also, hey, Everett, it's also your safe space. It's also, the place that you've been. It's also, the thing that the people that the thing that you know how to do, all the things. And you just, boom, boom, boom. My mom was, director of the Home Economics Cafeteria and Quantitative Foods Lab at UAPB. And she had gotten to the place of, she was used to the drama and the crazy at school. And she knew how to do her job like clockwork, boom, 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 always getting good evaluations, all the things. And then one day she had the opportunity to be director over the I don't even know what you call it, but it's the administrative position where she takes care of all of the school lunches, school cafeterias, blah blah blah. And so it was an elevation in pay, it was a different location, it was new people, it was new stuff, it was all the things. And she was like, "I'm not going over there. Why would I go over there? I know what I'm doing right here. I understand how this system works. I get this." Well, eventually she went on over there. It took the elevation, right? But now, um, that also caused a change in the level of connection that she had with the people that were at UAPB. So that's the grief side of freedom. And that's what I want to just touch on today because I'm not going to be here very long. So the grief side of freedom still requires a funeral. The grief side of freedom delivers you from a place or a season or a assignment. And in that essence, something has died, it has transitioned, it's gone away. And something has to the seed has to die in order for the plant to grow, right? And you're not just leaving, like say your relationships change, right? So you're not just leaving um a person, you're leaving the memories that you had with that person. You're leaving the experiences that you had with that person, the jokes, the the secrets that y'all hold for hold within yourself for each other. And so, um, it's okay if you shed tears because of that. Because maybe, you were loved well, because we're not talking about a toxic relationship you're leaving. We're talking about relationships that were cool, that were fine, that were doing what they were doing for that time period. And now you have to go and build some other relationships. And, you know, the kid in me is like, yeah, I'm gonna keep these relationships, I'm gonna build some more. But if God is taking you to a new place and a new space and a new season, then some of those relationships have to change. The person that you talk to every day, mm. I remember when my friend Yvette she moved to Atlanta, we still talked every day. And then she said, "You know what, Karen, I think I'm gonna get in grad school." And I was like, "Well, that's great. Wonderful. Go get your master's degree, blah, 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 blah." I did not realize that in her going to get her master's degree, her circle had to change because I wasn't going through the same experiences that she was. So I could support from afar, but I couldn't tell her how to navigate that space. And so our conversations that used to be every day, multiple times a day, changed. And they've never gone back to every day, multiple times a day, because in that space, she also realized that she actually preferred to text and not talk. She preferred to text and not talk. And she grew a new set of friends, and she had a whole different life because she wasn't even in Arkansas anymore. So it'd be ridiculous for her, to keep the same, I mean, not to keep the same proximity with those same people. And so for me, I had to grieve the experience of my relationship with my friend changing. And so grief isn't regression, it's realignment. You're not backsliding because your heart hurts. The ache proves that your attachment was genuine and not toxic. And God lets you feel the separation so you don't confuse moving on with shutting off. And know that love doesn't expire, just the assignment does. So you could honor what was without staying bound to it. I can move to a new job. I can move to a new city. I can move to a new level in ministry. I can move to a new something or another without without losing the love that was built in that place. Because what if you've poured so much into someone and you've been doing the things and you've been doing the things and you're pouring into them, but the relation you stay in the spot. Well, where are they gonna grow if you're still there? There was an episode of Moesha, and I wasn't a big Moesha watcher. I just happened to watch this one, and it was on a rerun. And Moesha went to another school. Well, Moesha was the cheerleader, the president of this, the leader of that, the blue of that, the blah blah blah. And she had these two friends. And her daddy put her in a different school and took her out of her comfort zone. And she was having, difficulty managing that. So she decides, well, I'm gonna just excuse me. I just excuse me. Bump what daddy say. I'm going back to my old school. Bye bye. Moesha went back to that old school. And her ace boon coons, as we would call them, had decided that they knew how to do the things that Moesha was doing. And so all those great positions that that Moesha held, they had they had taken over. And Moesha was shocked. I mean, I remember her facial expression, and I'm like, "Geez, her friends just took over her stuff." But she was she was a big plant. She was repotted. She had to go somewhere else and grow, and that made room for her friends who also had gifts and talents, but were shrinking back because of the shine and the skill and the persona that was Moesha. So they just yielded to her. I don't think they even realized that they were doing it because they were just like, "Oh, Moesha gonna do that. We'll just be over here doing this." But when Moesha left, it gave space for some other people to then come to their fullness, right? And so and they probably, at some point took some notes from what Moesha was doing because what success leaves clues, right? Success leaves clues. So some of the people that you poured into when you were in that space will carry your imprint farther than you'll ever see. I'm moving on to a new space in life. I'm moving on into my coaching space. I'm moving on into some different spaces musically. I'm doing some different kind of things, right? So as I gain new responsibilities and new spaces and new places, then the places where I pull my skills and talents away from, then the people that I poured into get to step up and they don't have to, they get to showcase all the things that they had before me, all the things that they learned with me and get to go and look and grow in ways that catapult them. And yay, I had a part in that. I had a part in that. And so now, do you cry when you transition from one place to another? You just might. Does it hurt when you move from one place to another? Because you're excited about the elevation. You're excited about, I've been here for 27 years. And now after 27 years, God is going to take me way up here. And some people, their assignment is still right here, even though yours is right here. And so when that happens, does it hurt? hmm When that happens, do the people that whose trajectory is in another space and another place, does that hurt them? Yes, because that which was once here is now here. And so, but the good thing is that your tears can testify. Your tears become seed because your tears will water the next thing that is growing. Right? The Bible talks about our tears becoming fruitful seed. Those, Psalm 126, 5 and 6. Those who sow with tear will reap with songs of joy. Those who go out weeping, carrying seed to sow, will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with them. God keeps track of all our sorrows. He records our pain. But even the Bible says you're going to cry. But then it says, weeping may endure but for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And so, as I was thinking through this, and I said, well, what about the scripture that says the blessings of God maketh rich and addeth no sorrow, right? And so, I looked it up. I was like, well, how does this work, right? And sorrow in that particular um space. Let me go to my notes. Go to my notes. Okay, so no sorrow does not mean no tears. God's blessing does not remove our humanity. Okay? It redeems our pain. The sorrow in that verse is not referring to the feelings of grief. It's from the sorrow of striving, the regret, anxiety, and toil that comes from trying to bless yourself out of his will. So when you think of, well, if this is a blessing of God and he's trying to elevate me, what I'm over here crying for? Because you're human. If he elevate me, why does this hurt so much? Because you're human. If he taking me to a place of flourishing and prospering and all this thing, uh, and all these things supposed to be good and great for one for me, why is it so hard to let go of this over here? Because you built something based on love and you were being genuine and you were doing the best that you could. As crazy it was, I cried when I left my job at Social Security. I did. Because I didn't know what life was going to look like, and God was taking me to a better place. But I didn't know what life was going to look like. I had my friend that sat to my left, and we talked every day about whatever we talked about, usually the job. And I was like, well, who am I talk to? And all this, and I had all these tears and all this stuff and all this, and then I moved on to my next level in life. I grieved, I mourned, and it was fine. The Hebrew root for add no sorrow um means pain from labor, grief from toil, hardship. So the promise isn't that the blessings don't cause emotion. It's that they don't come with torment or self-effort. Because maybe in the transition into freedom, that comes once you do the forgiving, because your life's going to transition after you let all this hurt and pain and fear and pride and all these things go, and you love and you learn that God loves you and God has plans for you and he wants the best for you, and you learn how to trust him in this season of, you know, because you're like, once you forgive, once you go through the process of forgiving and you release and you let him heal your emotions, once you go through that place, your life is going to change, and this is what it's going to look like. And that's okay. It's okay. He's empowering you to prosper, he's blessing you. So yeah, you're going you're going to go through some emotions when your life elevates, once you start walking in the freedom of forgiveness. So cry, but don't curse the transition. Let your mourning become momentum. All right. All right. So I was supposed to look at my calendar to see when I was going to do the next freedom through forgiveness class, and I will post those tomorrow. Um I am taking the next couple of days off so that I can handle some things that are going on in this world of mine. So Tea and Truth will return on Monday. No, Tea and Truth will return on Tuesday because I got a big project happening on Monday. Tea and Truth will return on this Tuesday. But what I will do is I will post some rebroadcast. So let me say Tea and Truth Live. Tea and Truth Live will return. Tea and Truth Live will return on Tuesday. And I have not been looking here. I have not been seeing y'all's comments. I don't know what happened. But anyway, I am so happy for all of you that have joined me today. Um, like, tag, and share the video, please. Share, share, share. And tell your friends. And make a note that tomorrow and Friday and Monday, I will post something from our archives. I have archives now, y'all. How about that? I've been doing this long enough to have some archives. And it'll probably go back to the basics of forgiveness so that we can recapture that so that I can get y'all prepped for the classes, Y'all, thank you so much to my replay crew. Thank you for watching, and thank y'all for walking with me through this build the plane as I'm flying it type of experience. All right. Love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all. Y'all have a great day.